Could you use a quick tip daily? How about a tip that can impact your day? My name is Rafael. Join me as I bring you tips by experts around the world. These experts have shared their knowledge and wisdom with me and will directly share them with you. Make sure to subscribe, like, follow, and comment, and I would love for you to become part of the New Tip Daily community. Dr. Brian, thank you so much for joining me on New Tip Daily. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday to you. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited because, we've had a few conversations, and the more I get to know you, the more I realize how incredible you are. And I'm thrilled that we've somehow made a connection. You have incredible tips for us to share on growth and how we can even move through our daily lives, right?
Yeah, I mean, yes, in several different areas, and just the one that you picked, I think with opportunity, that's one that I really enjoy talking about because I think that a lot of people are under the impression that opportunities are rare, that they don't come along that often, and I disagree with that. I think that opportunities are there every day, literally every day, and it's up to us to to see them, to recognize them, and to seize them. And but that's not as easy as it sounds. In other words, just because the opportunity arises doesn't mean that we're going to follow through and get the advantages of it. So, my tips for today around seizing opportunity are this: just number one, recognize that opportunity isn't rare. It's there every day. But in order to see it, we have to open our awareness. We have to get out of our little bubbles and take off our blinders and see the world from multiple angles, and really just be open to the possibility that whatever that all of our assumptions and our directions, all of that's great, but that there's other stuff out there. And if we can just free our minds to be open enough to recognize these different opportunities, these different chances, these different situations that might lead to other things, that's the first place that we have to start. It really comes down to just awareness of our surroundings, of us, and what's going on.
I
So
love
that's
that.
the first one.
Yeah, I love opportunity awareness. I love the way you brought that together because it is so important for us to, I guess we start in the morning with even thinking, what is my day going to be looking
Mhm.
like, right? Um, I want people to connect with you because I think you have such a powerful message in a way. Could you in the chat put in your the best way people can reach out to you? And then I'll throw it across the screen also. Everybody, I got to tell you, this man is just an incredible human being. The fact that he has now we talked earlier and people are coming up to him and saying, "Thank you for the way you've impacted my life." And you may not recognize him because a lot of times he is behind the scenes. He's a stuntman, right? So he's doing all these incredible feats of movement, if you will, that can it kind of liberates the actor from getting hurt, right?
Yeah, it's funny. There are three different ways that stunt people show up in in shows, um, and most people think about the stunt double one, which is one. So you dress up and act like the actor, and you do the stunts for them. But the other two are equally important. In fact, they probably, well, at least one of them happens more often than the doubling one for most stunt people, and that's ND. It's called ND, nondescript. So this is just the person walking down the street and all of a sudden an explosion goes off and they fall down, or they're in a bar and there's a fight, they get hit in the head with a chair. Like they're not playing a part. There is no role. They're not doubling anybody. They're just, whatever the action sequence is involves them. So they do the stunts. And then the third is actually playing a part where there are
Mm.
lines involved. So again, you're not doubling anybody, but you're actually a character in the show. Now, usually when that happens, they'll hire stunt people when the stunt is more important than the dialogue. So there's only a little bit of dialogue. There are a few words to say. And rather than hire an actor and then double, or hire an actor and try to teach them how to do stunts, they just hire a stunt person who can do a little acting. So those are the three ways that stunt people show up.
I love that. I love that. I've seen stuntmen just practicing getting shot. Like the way they fall after a shot and all these different things. It's really, it's such a skill because they're not really being hit, but it looks, and I know that you're an incredible stunt person as well. It looks so real as if they really got shot. It's incredible.
Yeah, it's a fun process. And just getting back to opportunities, that was one of the ones that just showed up for me. I mean, I was in college and up there by you. I was at Rutgers in New Jersey and was floundering. I didn't know what I was going to do with my life. I was halfway through college. I had no idea what job I was going to pursue. And I ended up going to the Six Flags out there and I saw the Batman stunt show, and immediately I said, this is it. This is what I want to do. So, but before then, my vision was graduate from college, get some kind of job, and move forward with that. But that openness that I was describing earlier allowed me to recognize, no, man, this right here. And it was a complete, like I was going to the right. All of a sudden I'm going to the left. I mean, it was a dramatic shift in direction, but I was open to that. So that's the second tip that I would give. So the first one is just be open. The second is be flexible with our goals.
Mm.
So if our objectives, we have objectives, we have goals, we have things we're shooting for, things we want to do, things we want to accomplish, and that's all great. But as we have new experiences and we meet new people, our priorities can change. And I think they should change. And that's what happened in this situation. So being open to, yeah, I was pursuing this goal of a college degree, but now I'm not. I'm going to let go of that. I'm going to quit. I'm here to recommend to people, quit. Just quit more often than you do. In our culture, we have so much wrapped around tenacity and perseverance and grit, and it's all about never quit, always stick with it. But you know what? Sometimes sticking with it is counterproductive. We need to quit. We need to move in a different direction. We need to stop banging our head against the wall and move toward the open space. And that's what I did with stunts. The opportunity arose. I was open to it. I saw it, and I was flexible enough to drop the goal that I had and move in the direction that was right for me. And that really brings us to the third and last tip regarding opportunity is we have to take that first step. We have to have the courage to leave what we know and what we're familiar with and all of these plans that we have that we've thought about and go in a completely unknown direction. We have to have the courage to do that. That's a scary thing to do, to take that leap of faith into a different way of pursuing life. But it's invaluable. We have to do that. And after the first step, the second step's way easier, and the third and the fourth, the thousandth, but that first one is tough. So to wrap up the opportunity tips, I mean, from where I'm sitting, I just stay open to other possibilities, other things that you haven't even considered yet, because you're going to meet new people. You're going to have new experiences. Be open to what they might mean and how they might direct you. Number two, be flexible enough to shift. So if you recognize, yeah, this other direction seems like it's a good one, be okay letting go of the goals that you've had and the directions that you've been locked onto. Even for, again, I was locked onto college for years. That was the goal for many years, and I let go of it. And then to take that first step, to really to lean in and really pursue what it is that you want to pursue. For me, that meant packing up all my crap. Well, dropping out of college first, and then packing up all my crap and driving it across the country to Los Angeles. I didn't know anybody. I knew one guy. I had one guy. There was one guy that I had met on a golf course in New Jersey who was a stuntman. I had one connection, but you got to take that first step. And after you do, once that committing happens, it may work out. It may not. I'm not saying that this is a recipe for always fulfilling dreams, but if the dreams are going to be fulfilled, these three things are going to happen. We got to recognize the opportunities. We got to be flexible enough to shift to them, and we got to have the courage to take that first step.
I love what you talked about. Sometimes we need to even learn how to quit. I love the banging your head against the wall because that's a good time to quit. If you think about it, if it's not working, it's not working. You want to persevere, but then you have to look at the bigger picture, right? And sometimes it could be hitting you on the other side of the head while you're banging your head and you're not listening to it. So just take a moment to breathe, right? And reevaluate what you may be doing. I
Yeah, well,
love that.
that bigger picture is the key. I appreciate you bringing that up because we can persevere. The persevering, it just my shifting from college to stunts, that was quitting in one sense because I quit on a goal that I had. I want to get this college degree. Nope, I'm going to quit that and I'm going to move to stunts. But it was perseverance and continuance of a goal in the sense that I want to be happy. I want to pursue something that's meaningful to me. I want to live my life with certain values and objectives and beliefs in mind that every single day I can align my behaviors with. And in that sense, that shift really it fit that. That shift was it allowed me to move in the direction I wanted to go better than the college pursuit. So in one sense, it was quitting because I changed goals, but in another sense, it was just furthering myself. It was perseverance through a difficult time and movement into another time that again aligned better with who I wanted to be.
Mm. I love that. So when you decided to take that opportunity, when you moved across the country, if you will, and you basically didn't know anybody, but you pursued something that you knew you could be good at and become great at it. I'm sure that opened up even more opportunities in a different realm that you didn't even expect. Tell us about that.
Oh, through the whole thing. I mean, as as you meet new people and you end up in new places, the freedom, for example, the freedom that I had with stunts because I wasn't working every single day, 8 hours a day in an office. I had a lot of freedom, and that allowed me to go back to school to finish my bachelor's degree. It allowed me to continue forward with a master's degree in sports psychology and a PhD in organizational psychology. And then those experiences exposed me to different people and different places where, for example, I went to a conference, a sports psychology conference, and I met some people who were doing this sports psychology program for the Army. Well, next thing you know, I'm working for them. So yeah, it's one thing leads to another thing, leads to another thing. Different chapters in our life
Mm,
require different behaviors, different activities. I don't know about you. I mean, I'm 50 and I'm nowhere close to the person I was at 20, thank God. But I'm not the same person as I was at 30 or 40 either. At every chapter of our lives, we're a little bit different. We have different priorities. We've had different experiences. We're new people,
yeah.
and we need to embrace that. Not worry about, oh well, this is what I said that I was going to do, or this is who I was, or this is how I defined myself. Well, every day we wake up and have the opportunity to begin again. I believe very strongly in the importance of that. That's why I titled the book that I wrote that. Begin again. Utilize the wisdom of Eastern and Western ideologies to achieve your full potential. Begin again. Every
Mm,
day we can begin again. And I think that it's critical that we do. And and that we embrace that we celebrate that rather than feeling guilty about changing our directions or shifting our priorities.
mm. Love that. When one of the things you've heard of SEO, and I consider it a little different, right? That's search engine optimization. But the way I see SEO is see every opportunity, and you never know when an opportunity is knocking, and if you don't open the door, you won't know what the opportunity is. And so sometimes it's you being open, and you talked about that earlier, being open to an opportunity, getting to meet new people, people that will impact your life without you even knowing that they will, just because maybe you met them at a cocktail party or an event or at somebody's birthday party. I've had opportunities where somebody's boyfriend was doing something and I was interested in it, and I asked, could I be part of it? And they said, let me find out. But if I didn't ask, if I didn't meet that person, you're right, then I wouldn't have had that opportunity. And every day, you talked about it, we wake up every day and we have a chance to create something new, to be something more than we were yesterday, right? When you decided, you went to college, you got all your degrees and so forth, what was the catalyst for you to write your book?
Yeah, the book didn't. I didn't sit down to write it. I didn't decide to write it. It was part of my journey. It was just part of my. I was going through a divorce. I was having a really hard time in my life, and part of my coping was to sit down every morning and read wisdom books, to
Mm,
read Marcus Aurelius, to read Seneca, to read the Bhagavad Gita, to read the Tao Te Ching, to read these different books from both Eastern and Western, as well as the science too. I mean, I get journals regularly from different things. So, and as I was doing the reading, different passages would stick out at me for whatever reason. They would resonate, and I would write down the quote, and then I write down why it resonated, what it brought to mind, and those were on a sticky note. And then each of those sticky notes, well, not all of them, because I've still got a bag full of sticky notes over here, but 183 of the sticky notes turned
mm,
into essays, and I just, that was just part of my process. And once I had enough for a book, I made the book. So it
nice.
wasn't something that I really set out to do. It was just something that emerged from my own work to try to help myself to begin again.
Mm. I love how you did that for yourself, but then you realize that that book can also help someone else who may be going through it, or a thought process that they can take from it.
Yeah,
When
and I'll tell you, I didn't. Yes, you're absolutely right, and I put it out there with that hope in mind. But it's like we were talking about before we kind of got on the air. You know, we never know what's really going to stick with people, and what difference we make. And I think that's a powerful thing to remember, is that every interaction we have has the ability to change people's lives. I mean, it really does. And that's not being dramatic. It's just every interaction we have, people may remember it. And what are they going to remember about it? That's the thing that we have to consider. So with this book, yeah, I put it out there with the hope that it would, but never with the expectation that I would ever know or
Mm,
hear anything about it. It wasn't like, I don't know, that I would expect to hear anything back from anybody. But it turns out I did. There was a lady I was talking to not too long ago, and she mentioned that that's something. She picks up the book, she picks it up every day, she thumbs through it. There are a few of those essays that are a favorite for her. She recently had her husband pass away unexpectedly, and she mentioned to me that she really leaned on that book for support and just some help throughout. So that wasn't the intent, obviously specifically to target people like that, but it's always the hope. And it was fantastic to hear it. So thank you for bringing that up. That was
yeah, that
nice
is
to hear.
that is pretty fantastic, and the fact that she was able to reach out to you and just give you accolades on the work that you've done. I got to be honest with you. I'd love to have you on my new show called Author's Tales. I'll send you information on that. And when you and you talked earlier about, and I know we're going to wrap this up. You talked earlier about you're different than you were when you were 20, 30, 40. What's next for you?
Oh, I don't know. I'm gonna get off of here, and I'm gonna start the day, and we'll see what happens.
There you
I
go.
really, it's a balancing act between, I have these goals of, I want to write another book, I want to, to build this business of speaking and workshops and etc. And balancing all of that with, but I don't know what today's going to bring. I'm just going to be open to. I don't know what phone call I'm going to get. I don't know what email I'm going to get. I don't know what communication is going to happen that's going to change my direction. It literally just happened the other day. I thought that I was going to go one direction in with my business, and then I had a conversation with a lady. She offered up this resource of this guy who is an expert in the area that he is, and I thought, well, okay, then let's go this other way because that sounds better. And just being open to those possibilities is something that I think is incredibly important. So can we just bounce around like a pinball throughout life? I don't think that's the right way to go. I
No.
think having objectives and goals in mind, but I call it the 38 special kind of goal setting. 38 special meaning the band, not the gun.
Mhm.
'Cause they sang a song called "Hold On Loosely." So if we hold on loosely to our goals but don't let go, I think
Mhm.
that's the way to go. Except for we need to
Yeah.
let go and we need to let go. So the metaphor doesn't work completely through, but that's how I think about goals is hold on loosely, but don't let go. Keep the goals in sight and pursue them, but be willing to shift, be willing to move, be willing to adapt and accommodate the various opportunities that arise and will arise every day.
Yeah, love it, love it. Well, you never know. I do have speaking prowess, and with that, I'm always looking for trainers and stuff of that nature to become part of the process. And being that you're looking to pursue speaking opportunities and so forth, we have people like yourself who want to be a trainer to help other people as well, and that's something we can always talk about every
Yeah,
day.
I'm happy to talk about all of that.
Oh
I
yeah,
appreciate the opportunity.
absolutely. Every day we do wake up, right? And I think we should all wake up with gratitude because hey, listen, we woke up and there's a lot of people who did not do it today. So I'm grateful. I'm grateful for you. Thank you so much for coming on and give us some great tips. Everybody, do me a favor. I'm going to give you a couple of 30 to 45 seconds, like a little infomercial on you, really quick. And do me a favor, everybody, share this show. Some great tips. Dr. Brian, stage is yours.
Well, thank you so much. If you want to check me out a little bit more, go to brianhiteglobal.com, BRIANHITE global.com. And I'll tell you, if pressure or stress or burnout are things that you've struggled with and you don't have anybody to hold your hand throughout the process, please reach out to me. You can email me directly, brian@brianhiteglobal.com, or you can schedule a discovery call on the website, but reach out and let's just have a conversation about what you got going on and what I might be able to do to assist, because I've been through all of those challenges in the different areas that I've been in life, and they're rough, they're tough. So
Mhm.
please, if there's something I can do for you, please reach out and let me know.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Everybody, like you said, reach out. It's just a conversation. You never know where that can lead to, right? Opportunity. Dr. Brian, thank you so much for being here with me today and happy Friday and go create.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you having me on. We'll see you next time.
All right, everybody, have a great one. Take care.